What if the reason you re-alive today is nothing more than a lucky roll of the dice tens of thousands of years ago? Picture this. The wind howls across a frozen wasteland, ice crunches underfoot, and the sun barely glows on the horizon. Imagine waking up in a world where winter never ends. Giant glaciers tower over the land, sometimes stretching for hundreds of miles. Your breath fogs in the bitter air, and you can feel the chill in your bones, even through layers of fur and animal skins. Food is scarce, predators are everywhere, and shelter is as temporary as a pile of rocks. Early humans worked together in ways that set them apart from other animals. Sometimes, fate steps in. The Ice Age was unpredictable. Climates could shift in just a few decades, turning green valleys into frozen deserts, or vice versa. It's possible that some human groups simply happened to be in the right place at the right time. As glaciers advanced or retreated, the routes for food and migration would change. When meat was scarce, they dug up roots, gathered nuts and berries, and even learned to fish in icy streams. This flexibility meant they could survive where specialists went hungry. It's a strategy that's still with us today. Our ability to eat almost anything has helped us thrive in every environment on Earth. Maybe your ancestors just barely missed being trapped by advancing ice. Or maybe they stumbled onto a new land bridge at exactly the right moment. Your ancestors stared down saber-toothed cats and crossed frozen tundra with nothing but flint, fire, and hope. Maybe they were lucky. Maybe they were clever. Most likely, they were a mix of both. But the fact that you're here right now is proof that they survived the world's greatest test. Archaeologists have uncovered campsites abandoned in a hurry, animal bones marked with signs of starvation, ancient skeletons showing evidence of violent struggle. Our ancestors gambled on new lands, new foods, and new ways of living. Sometimes those gambles paid off, sometimes they didn't. The story of the Ice Age isn't just a story of hardship, a story of risk, chance, and daring leaps into the unknown. The Ice Age was unforgiving. For most of our history, life expectancy was shockingly short. Children often didn't make it past infancy, and even adults faced danger at every turn. Survival was never guaranteed. Survival could depend as much on being lucky as on being clever. We shared food, built shelters as a group, and cared for the sick and elderly. When prey disappeared, we tried new foods. When one path was blocked, we found another. This stubbornness, the refusal to quit, might be humanity's greatest superpower. DNA evidence suggests that at one point during the Ice Age, the human population shrank to just a few thousand individuals. They tracked animal herds across vast distances, learning migration patterns and developing weapons like the spear thrower and eventually the bow. Clothing evolved from rough hides to more tailored garments, sewn together with bone needles. These little innovations, taken together, built a toolkit for survival that no other animal had. Imagine that. The entire human race reduced to the size of a small town. A single bad winter, a volcanic eruption, or a sudden disease could have ended the story right there. Yet against all odds, humanity pulled through. Was it a new tool, a shift in diet, or just sheer chance that kept our story going? Some archaeologists believe this deep social connection is what helped us survive when times got truly tough. If you broke your leg, your group might help you heal rather than leave you behind. It's a small kindness, but in the Ice Age, it could change everything. It's a world that seems designed to wipe you out, and yet, somehow your ancestors not only survived, but thrived. This was home for our distant ancestors during the Ice Age, time when just staying alive until sunrise was an accomplishment. But did humans really outsmart this brutal era, or did we just get incredibly lucky? Let's step into the cold. The Ice Age wasn't just a single cold snap, it was a series of freezing periods. Beginning more than 2 million years ago, and only ending about 12,000 years back. Throughout these long millennia, early humans faced constant threats, not just the bitter cold, but woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and packs of giant wolves. Every day was a gamble, and every night was a new test of survival. But how do we make it through when so many other creatures like the towering mammoth or the terrifying saber-toothed cat eventually vanished? Was it our brains, our teamwork, or just pure luck? Homo sapiens weren't the only humans wandering the Ice Age wilds. There were Neanderthals, Denisovans, and perhaps others we'll never know about. Yet somehow, our branch of the family tree survived, while theirs didn't. Some scientists point to our creativity, our ability to imagine, add plan, and adapt. Archaeological discoveries show early humans making sophisticated tools, crafting clothing from animal hides, and even creating jewelry and art. In a world where the environment could shift overnight, thinking outside the box may have meant the difference between life and death. Let's start with the human mind. But creativity alone didn't keep the fire going. Imagine hunting in an Ice Age landscape. You're not alone, and the prey is massive. Still, not all survival stories come down to intelligence and teamwork. Then there are the mysteries like the population bottleneck. Of course, adaptation played a role too.
Our ancestors learned to use fire for warmth and cooking, making it possible to survive in places most animals couldn't. And don't forget diet.
Unlike the mammoth or saber-toothed cat, humans weren't picky eaters. Still, the picture isn't all triumph. For every successful group, there were surely many that didn't make it.
So, was it luck in some ways? Yes. But it was also about making the most of every opportunity. But perhaps the biggest reason humans survived is our drive to keep going, no matter what. When the cold closed in, we lit new fires. The next time you find yourself shivering on a cold morning, think about the legacy running through your veins. And just maybe, that's the greatest story of all.